Good morning and welcome. I'm very honored to open this Startup Safari rebound section, and in this lockdown, I think we will need a lot of ideas to rebound. So, as you can see, my name is Fabrizio Gramuglio. I'm a founder of a startup called Xplus or Experience Plus. Our massive transformative purpose is to enabling people to experience unlimited reality. So, without any further ado, let me start my presentation, and I would like to invite you to interact with me. So you have a Slido channel, so please use it. It will be on my screen. I will ask you different questions in order to have a more interactive session. So let's start. Great. So as you can for sure guess from my name, I'm Italian. And in Italy, the coffee is sacred. And it's also the best way to start every morning. So it's so sacred in Italy. So to explain exactly what does it mean sacred in Italy, it's so sacred when Starbucks asked to open the first Italian shop, they had been forced to use an Italian coffee brand instead of the standard Starbucks kind of coffee. So let me share my cup of coffee with you and kicking off this trip in the Internet of Senses. And here, the first problem we have today. So let's say all the media we are using today are only audio and video. So you can't feel this scent. There's no burning oil, and the taste with little essence of sweet and walnuts. Because this is not a brutal German mix that tastes only like Robusta. So, and unfortunately, this is the problem I just say. So today, my goal is to bring you in an incoming reality where media can stream powerful taste, touch, and more. So, but what is the Internet of Senses? So if you will go online and will try to Google Internet of Senses, you'll basically find one big report for Ericsson and another 1,000 copycats with a lot of not very precise information. iOS, if you would like to make it very simple concept, it means that you will be able to use your 5 senses plus top fundamental accessory features, and they are called embodiment and brain-computer interfaces. So before moving forward and explain the details and the impact on your life, product, services, and future startup that I hope we will create today, with a lot of idea will come up with this this virtual meeting. So a bit of history for you. So let's go back in the history. 1914. In 1914, two very famous things happened. One was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, that you can see in the picture. He was the Archduke of Austria. He was with her wife. And what happened on this 28th of June in Sarajevo was basically what led us to the First World War. But some months before, another Italian guy called Giovanni Rapazzo patented a very disruptive invention, the audio inside the silent movies, changing the media industry forever. So forever, forever it's a very big word. Let's say until today. Because what we will see today is exactly what will happen in the next, let's say, event, in the next opportunities for you. But something in our evolution went wrong, because 100 years later, we are still here with audio and video only. So let's start our journey in the Internet of Sensing. Let's start with the first sense. And the first sense is taste. And why taste? You know the motto, seeing is always believing. Looks can deceive. That's why, as newcomers, the physical world babies learn about an object by instinctively putting in their mouth. And that's a perfect example. Until now, our online existence has not allowed us to practice digital mouthing. But that is set to change. Can you imagine put a device in your mouth that digitally enhances the food you eat, so that anything can taste exactly how you want to do? And this is, again, Ericsson that came in help with us. It made an interview with more than 1,000 users, and 44% of these users replied that they would like to have this kind of device in 2013. So 9 years from now. This could have big implications of our health and diets by enabling us to eat healthy food and yet have the taste like 5-star restaurant cuisine. Taste greatly informs the way we remember the past. Think back to your childhood. For example, will be one of the devices in the market used by universities that could, for example, stimulate the different area of your tongue and transmitting senses. So, but let's make another big step. In my case, it's pretty big, in your childhood. Do you remember, for sure, some particular tastes connecting to cooking or ice cream? So, and now try to imagine the ability to enhance your memories with digital taste going forward. Pictures from parties and holidays will not have only audio and video, but also savor the sweet and sour or it all. Food samples are usually popular among customers in grocery stores, so people can try before you buy. Many accept a test, even if they are not actually considered purchase. Can you imagine a revolution in the online shopping as we gain the ability to digitally taste samples from the comfort of your own device? Nearly as many believe there will be the TV cooking program that allow you to experience the taste of the food on the screen. This type of digitally sensory information will be financed by advertising, indicating that our taste reactions are not perceived to be as sensitive as many of our kind of private and personal data. So now let's try to find a bit of ideas, because our goal today is understand how we can use technology, or how you can use the let's say the 5 senses in our case to create ideas. So for example, you can have virtual cocktail. As I said before, you can share my coffee, advertising for restaurant. And so if you have the opportunity to jump on Slido and would like to throw ideas, I really appreciate, because we can comment it together later. So we can create a kind of, as I said at the beginning, interactive session where I can have, give me a second, open my Slido here and see where will be some suggestions. And now let's move to another sense, smell. Smells represent a powerful connection with our memory, as explained in the episode of Madeleine taken from Remembrance on Think Past by Marcel Proust. We have many all lost, honestly, understanding of fragrances. Modern people, for example, use deodorant to conceal their body odors, and traffic exhaust fumes in our bustling megacities make us numb to olfactory sensations. We may even think of our nose as just a place to put our glasses, or a reminder where we can have a coat. Oh, a cold. In reality, smell is important. The chemical language of scent is a physical sensation that affects us directly and deeply. This is why, for example, car manufacturers make sure that their car smells new. Or for the same reason, coffee shops are so much more alluring than vacuum-packed coffee from the supermarket. Typically, online experiences don't involve scent today. However, customers are estimating to sense or smell to be part of the internet by, again, 2030. More than half of the world population already lives away from nature. And the continued urbanization drives have increased our need for natural experiences. For this reason, 6 in 10 of the previous poll we commented by Ericsson, already expected to be able to digital visit forests on the countryside and experience all the natural smell of those places. This is the most highly had expectation among the smell-related concepts today. And the respondents were asked to rate, and indicates a strong need for deeper immersion than video can offer. So the experience of watching any type of video would feel more immersive if you could smell the action. So that's a very good example. For example, in Game of Thrones, one of probably your favorite TV series in the past. And try to imagine to have your Netflix able to convey smells to you, or National Geographic documentary where you can visit very exotic places and you can receive the smells. So this will be our idea of immersive reality. So going back to our survey, again, 56% expect to digital savor all the smell in the film they watch by 2030. So it's very near. Although you probably already know that we had a lot of attempts to incorporate chants during film. It's even if we go back at the early 1916, and their failure to gain popularity have likely been due to the lack of effective technology rather than a popular interest. But in the meantime, we made an impressive, so let's call it exponential progression in the smell technology. And we will show it later. In our ecosystem, we have very great company and very great product to convey smell in different, say, situations and experiences and realities. Finally, this technology don't have to cause a sting. We will be able to avoid bad smell when we choose. So with more than enough expecting a digital device that can transform a stinky smell into nice fragrance, for example. And again, going back to our interview, half of them expected to be able to control how they smell to the others. For example, you have a fantastic opportunity today to be in a virtual reality with your avatar, and then you will be able to control your smell, because you know better than me, smell is something that makes people recognizable to us. And then you will be able to control the digital scent of your avatar. So other example here, we already talk about National Geographic, we talk about Netflix, and we talk about advertising for restaurant or obviously advertising for perfumes. But I'm sure in your, let's say, market or in your interest, there will be more idea where you can start thinking about using smells to make immersive experiences. And now let's move to touch. Anyone who plays Mario Kart can attest that the rating control add a lot to the experiences. However, those who have tried the VR arcade version might agree it takes everything up level with a mock-up cart where shaking sync with the game to create an impression of movement vehicle. And that's a very, let's say, small example. And probably most of you to theme park or interactive cinema have tried something like it, like a moving chair or a moving tray. And that's completely changed your perception of the immersive experience. Digital touch is set to grow way beyond the rumble of game controller or the haptic feedback, or even the current VR system. Going forward, people will think of digital touch as something affecting their whole body and not just their hands. The most easy to imagine feature for consumers is the physical impact of sound. For seeing a phone, they can digital transform the physical impact of a live concert bass sound to their chest. And I'm sure you already saw it something like that in the market. If you didn't so, I suggest you to take a look at Filmbell, Voyager, and similar products that are already on the market. So we are not talking about a distant future. After here, for example, that's another fantastic example and impact of industry. After you're swapping on our device, We expecting our device, our smartphone, have a screen that convey the shape and the texture of the digital icons. And the button that we are pressing will give us the feedback of the fabric we are really touching. It will be great to feel the button and the icon retract when force is applied. And also, as I said, that will give us the correct feedback. So basically, what does it mean for you? It means that when you start buying online, you will be able to feel digital texture. And you can make another step ahead in terms of thinking. So this ability to feel the digital texture might go way beyond the confine of the smartphone screen. For example, wristbands that stimulate the nerves so you can feel any digital option, an object available in your virtual environment. We could digitally feel anything, from something like a ball to the skin of another person. The application of touch tech may be nearly limitless. For example, again, going back to the wristband or armbands, we'll be able to transmit a sense of weight and motion. So the digital option they touch seems fully real and react to our touches as well. So, why we would like to stop here? I mean, we are trying to create a kind of journey in this senses revolution, but the point is why we want to stop at the physical touch. We might even be able to feel things behind human senses. Wearable will let us feel the oncoming weather, such as storm, rain, or heat waves. Literally, we will be able to touch the sky very soon. You want example for sure. So this is a great example. This is the first remote surgery with haptic feedback, and it happened in December 2020, where an equipe of surgeons from Washington, D.C. remotely operated a person in Malaysia. And they used not the standard Da Vinci, but they use a new system with haptic feedback and a touch opportunity. And this gave them an impressive, how can I call it, real feedback and also quality of the operation. Again, we make an example about the fashion online shop. That will be something really impressive. If you are in the fashion industry, I'm sure you can get it very quickly. And now I want to make another step forward and stop talking about senses and stop talking about our body and move to brain-computer interfaces. I'm sure you heard about Elon Musk and this new bold project called Neuralink. I don't want to enter in the technical discussion about the feasibility of the project. I'm sure most of you heard about the issue of implanting microelectrodes inside your brain or using electrodes in general. But let's move to the wider vision of the project. So internet to brain communication and brain to brain communication means the ability to transmit and transfer data from internet to brain and to brain to brain. So basically, it means that we will be able to communicate brain to brain instead of brain to mouth, mouth to ear, ear to brain. And also we will be able to access to an immense quantity of data in real time. As you can imagine, this will have an impressive impact on our ability to get the data, elaborate them, and even on our communication. The example I made before, you know for sure that we are thinking faster than we talk, and you talk faster than you write. Try to imagine to remove the physical action of talking or typing and communicate directly brain to brain. Or again, the ability to think about the need of a good coffee, just to go back to the coffee, and probably you get a pop-up in your brain from Starbucks, and you have your taste transmitted directly to your brain, and maybe it will stimulate some nerves to produce endorphin to give an antagonist for caffeine in you, or give you the opportunity anyway to have the refreshing action of the coffee. We will explore real and virtual worlds very soon with our brain. We will interact with others and with data, the outside reality, and the various level of data-based reality will merge. And okay, now we are moving to the spatial web I understand too many steps in the future. Sorry, let's go back to simple example. So using the brain as an interface could mean the end of keyboards, mouse, game controller, and ultimately user interface for any digital service. The user need only think the commands and they will happen. Smartphone could even function without touchscreen. And the best part, especially for me, we will not have more devices, not more USB-B-C, Apple connector 1, 2, 3, 1000. But by the way, what's the problem with standards? That's another conversation, but I will be pretty happy to have you all later at the stage. So we will not have more charging devices. That's real life. So you don't have to wake up in the morning and check, oh my God, my mobile is, oh, it's empty. There's no battery, or your headphones, or whatever, your laptop and so on. So are you really don't get enough of devices? I personally am. So if the small price for getting rid of mobile phone, tracker, under-skin chip, Bluetooth headset, VR headset, PlayStation controller, mouse, TV remote controller is a small chip in my brain, I'm ready to see it and to sign the agreement now. And by the way, there's another good point. We will solve maybe the problem of electronic high pollution waste we are creating today. This is only a small example. Let's go back to our senses. So we will be able to transmit senses to our brain, removing the intermediation of your body. And this means the ability to enable people with peripheral neural trauma, for example, to feel all the senses. And it will mean as well for the people with no legs to run on the shore and feel the warmth of the sand, the weather, and more. With this technology, the concept of integrity and privacy will have, for sure, a new meaning. How you will control the flow of the data. What data are you ready to share or not? Data privacy, data agency, data virtual agents will be another impressive opportunities for companies. If you don't know the concept about it, I suggest you to take a look, for example, at the concept of digital twins, not in logistics, but in terms of replicating ourselves and having ourselves as an interface for the different world. Or going back a couple of years into interactive agents, when we'll give the opportunity to small agents to go around and find the data for us and come back to us with the data we asked for. This is probably one of the biggest evolution we will have in the data control. And now let's talk about the last and probably the most important concept. And it's called embodiment. And we will start talking about a small movie. So what is embodiment? Embodiment is pretty simple. Basically, it means that you can own, control a body. So you will be inside and even experience different stimuli in real time. For example, you will receive the smell, you will receive obviously audio and video, and you will receive other examples. So this movie is a very great example of embodiment. The story is pretty simple. It's based on the embodied concepts of controlling human being player by other human participant in an online game. Honestly, the game was not a success, as you can see from the IMDb rate, but still worth the idea. So the embodied experiences can also be pre-recorded, which means you can enjoy some moments of any person that were recorded before you could use them. In simple words, you find yourself as an avatar of another person. And that's another great example of this idea. This is a very famous movie called Strange Days, 1995, from a very interesting director called Catherine Bigelow. And the story is, again, pretty simple. So it's about the opportunity of having pre-recorded experience tapes that allow a user to experience the record's memory and physical sensation. And basically, characters for emerging into an other person experiences, feeling and seeing everything. And this movie, honestly, even if at the beginning it didn't have a lot of success, later it was recognized as a very great sci-fi movie. So my suggestion is to take a look at it if you didn't have the opportunity to do it before. So virtual reality, because again, you will have a fantastic virtual reality stage, can induce embodiment by creating multi-sensory stimuli, combining third-person perspective with synchronous visual and tactile stimuli, as well as visual and motor synchrony. Let's make an example, because otherwise it seems too technical. So when you are, for example, now roaming around the stage, take a look at the Tour Eiffel in the virtual world and talk with other people, you receive audio and video from, obviously, audio and video platform. Try to imagine to, again, get the smell, or can touch things, or simply manipulate things, or even go to the booths and taste some product, or in the coffee, there's a coffee area where you can really taste the coffee. So virtual world also can offer fantastic opportunity for immersive experiences. And this introduces us to another concept. This could happen not only in the virtual world, but could happen with, we have a question? No, okay, no, it's not for me. Oh, sorry, no, it's not for me, since not for me. Oh, no, Danny, no, for me, on my side, everything is okay. Seems okay on my side. Thank you. So, I said virtual reality is the example, but it's not the only example. It could be happen from persona to persona, so from human to human. You can embody in another person. And that should be a perfect opportunity to introduce another concept and another setup called the machine to be another. This is the classic setup of called a body swap. The machine to be another is an embodiment virtual reality system that allows individual to experience the world through the eyes and the body of another person, inspired by neuroscience protocol for bodily and perceptual illusion, and designed to trick the brain perception to one's own body. The machine to be another classic setup is designed with a performer wearing front-facing, either head-mounted camera, recording video that is live streaming to virtual reality asset of a user. This allows two people to share a first-person perspective at the same time. For example, this is a fantastic example where we have a user on a wheelchair and a runner. And the user on a wheelchair get the feeling and the perception of walking, embody himself in the other persona. Another fantastic example in the machine to be another is the opportunity of called body swapping. So male and female for a different perception of the body and the way we perceive our own body as well. And so what does it mean for you? Because this is the rebound session. Let's talk about what are the opportunities in front of you. Can you see the incoming future and the impressive opportunity you have? Can you see the opportunity you have today to create new realities, new experiences in 5 senses? And also in terms of market opportunity, can you feel it? So think about the long journey we did since the 1914. We invented tools, software, best practices, user interface, an incredible amount of knowledge and courses about it. Now, take all this material and multiply it for 5 senses, or better, calculate the exponentiality of the curve putting together the 5 senses. Think about the incredible opportunity you can offer today to your customer. The opportunity to remove any kind of barriers. We are living, especially in this day, in a situation where people are prevented to live experiences due to different barriers and limitations: personal, economical, geographical, physical, or time limitation. And obviously, we have lockdown. And so let's take a look at what will be the difference using 5 senses, or no, using 5 senses. So the current status of media is characterized by divine dependency. For example, I have Oculus Go, I have the Quest 2, I have whatever HTC devices, and sometimes what you're producing is not compatible with devices. Also, you have a lot of interaction. Most of the experiences offered you are a kind of pre-recorded. There's a catalog, you can choose from a catalog. And also there's a low level of immersion. As we already say, 100 years ago, we put audio inside video. So our goal is really to disrupt these 3 rules, starting from the 2-dimension and having infinite dimension, not only audio and video, but smell, taste, humidity, wind, temperature, touch, and more. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. We even think that we should start thinking hardware agnostic. And if you're talking about VR or mixed reality, WebXR is a perfect example. It can run on any device. It can run on your mobile, in your HTC device, in your Magic Leap, Google's as well. It's perfect. And probably, as we say, in the future, we will not need devices because brain-computer interface is coming. So our goal is exactly to offer you immersive experiences. So like imagine walking in a remote forest area, freely roaming around, and feel the temperature on your skin and the powerful feeling in your nose, and your hands are caressing the leaf. This is what we are offering you today. And what kind of experiences? Okay, we can address real-time streaming, streaming video on demand, and as I say, VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, or cross reality, if you prefer. And we call it extended today reality, obviously, because it's exactly what we would like to do. So then I hope you will have more questions about the application later, so I don't want to get too long because time is finishing. And so what is happening now? When it will happen? And so let's think about what we designed. So we started with experiences, we talk about senses, we talk about devices, we see that a lot of things are already in the market. So but having some projection work for 2013. So the point is, can you imagine when it will happen? And honestly, I have to apologize with the audience because at the beginning I tricked them, says it will happen in 9 years. And this is not exactly true because, as I say, we are working on that in this opportunity to create these not only technology but application in different realities. It could be virtual, augmented, extended. It could be streaming video on demand or real-time streaming, and it's 4 months far away, not 9 or 10 years. So very soon you will be able to touch and sniff the reality. And also we are planning a global event in the second quarter where we'll be able to basically invite you to taste and sniff the reality. So let me close my speech with a very easy question for you. So I hope in this quite short, not quite short because it was half an hour, journey, we moved through a lot of concept and we took a look at the future as a distant future, and in the last slide we say, it will happen in a couple of months. So my question for you is, do you want to be an actor of this transformation? Or is something that you are thinking today, it will not affect you? If yes, please scan me, connect with us, visit us at the booth, and we will super happy to explain you our ecosystem, invite you to be part of our ecosystem and create extended and unlimited realities with you. So let me see if there's something on Slido. No, it's still closed. Let me check with this support team. Just a second. We have 10 minutes more. Good. So let me tell you a bit more about Experience Plus. So I will have like 10 minutes of advertising where we didn't yet done. So basically, as I said at the beginning, the goal of the company is to create unlimited reality, or better, to give the opportunity to people to live unlimited reality. We developed a technology to allow content creators and platform to include senses. Hello, we have an hello, hello, and include senses in their production. And their production is it Xplus? Yes, is it Xplus? The platform is called Experience Plus, and we make it shorter as Xplus. And as I say, we create the technology and give to the content creator and the platform creator to allow them to include senses. And also we create an ecosystem of partners to develop this technology and also to get in touch with hardware producers. You see feature of your solution in electoral campaigns, for instance. Oh, electoral, yeah, I got it, thank you. Well, that's a very nice question. Let me try to reply with something happened before. You probably heard that some campaign, as well as some concert, honestly, happened in using hologram to project persona in different areas. Even I remember in India, there was a very big electoral campaign using tracks with holograms. And these tracks basically have the candidates swarming around the country to present itself. In this case, what we can offer them is the opposite. So we can offer them the opportunity to offer a complete different vision of the life of the persona. So what I imagine for electoral is to give a lot of transparency on what happened during not the public event, so the public, let's say, electoral conferences, but also what happened during the life of the electoral campaign, during the life of the persona, allowing people to embody in not obviously in the president, but in the people around them, and to see what will happen really behind the scene and be part of the process. Because one of the problems in our perception of the, let's say in general, the political statement or the political situations where we are not participating directly. So I think one of the opportunity could be to offer people the opportunity to be on the same spot, wearing the same shoes of their candidates for 24 hours or for a couple of days. It will not be like a kind of 1 hour streaming of a pre-recorded or pre-prepared message, but it will be more like being the persona, feel his own sensation, feel his own, and the way he takes decision. This could be, from my point of view, it will completely change the way I will see candidates, because I will be part of their life, I will be part of their experience. So that could be an opportunity where I can see embodied and, let's say, experiences part of the process. I don't know if it's a complete reply to your questions. Obviously, there will be more advertising opportunity, but advertising opportunity at the end of the day will not change your perception of the reality. Okay, so in the meantime, I hope I replied to this thing. Otherwise, please ping me more, scan me, or ask me more. So as I said, the goal is really to create this ecosystem. Yeah, no, I understand. That's why they asked me to not stay in the VR world at the moment. Because yes, also yesterday I tried and a bit, I like it as well. Don't worry. We will have the opportunity to talk later. So, and as I say, we are not creating only this technology, but also we are creating an ecosystem, because one of the problems anyone has today, if you're thinking about, for example, augmented reality, you probably in your environment knows 1,000 people who develop augmented reality solution, but at the same time, you know 2 persons who has an augmented reality device at home. So devices today is a problem in terms, if you're thinking about abundance, if you're thinking about, hey, I want to reach 1,000 people, I want to reach 1 billion of people, that's completely different. So the device today are our limitation. It represents a very big limitation for us. And that's why in our ecosystem, we included VR facility. We will include very soon renting services, so you can really have at your own apartment or very near to your apartment the opportunity to test and live different realities without worrying about the cost of the devices, because as I say today, the cost of the devices today is a very limitation for most of the people. So if you're thinking about the augmented reality and think about the fantastic HoloLens from Microsoft, I don't know how many people would like to spend 2,500 euro for a tool today, a device. So that's one of the biggest issues we have. And that's the reason why VR facility and renting services are available for us in our ecosystem. Also, we show it very quickly before the application. So in terms of application, today we started with 3 vertical markets. One market is museum, so museum and cultural opportunity, obviously, because in this lockdown, they suffered a lot. You know better than me, in US, 1/4 of the museum will not reopen, for example. And probably if we go farther in lockdown, the 1/4 will become more and more. And the second vertical market will be sports in general, because another market that suffered a lot is obviously the contact between fan and different football club or club in general, sports club. And the third market will be obviously travel and entertainment, with both working with travel agencies and resorts and hotels in order to allow them to offer virtual opportunity. A kind of, as I said before, a try before you buy. So I would like to try to have 1 week in Philippines, but I don't know if I would like. Okay, let's try for a couple of hours for real few dollar per minute, or for the full experience. Or you can have it as a really try before you buy, and then I can teleport yourself in there exactly where you want to go and try different experience, and then you can decide, okay, well, I love it, I want to invest more, buy the ticket, go there, spend a week, 10 days there, and try everything. So these are the free market we will start with. In terms of VR, we will launch very soon a metaverse as the one you have it today. There will be some differences, and the best differences obviously for us is that we will include senses. And in terms of streaming video on demand, I hope very soon we will announce our partnership with a streaming video on demand platform. And so you will start having your first favorite TV series with senses. That's it. Okay. Okay, see there are no more questions, so we can make more examples of experience. Give me a second. And let me show you some examples of applications. Okay. And let's move Slido over here. Okay, there's nothing new. Good. So, example of what we think about application, both in terms of industry and experiences. First of all, I think the most important part is the opportunity to offering, as we said before, and we made the example in the machine to be an hour, the opportunity of having a social impact. Removing barriers means allowing people that for some reason, it could be temporary or permanent reason, can't have these experiences. And as we say, we have a lot of barriers today, and that could be both economical or physical. Let me reduce myself, otherwise I will cover all the slides. It could be both economical, it could be geographical, it could be physical barriers. And that's a very good example. Also, when we will be able to move to brain-computer interfaces, it means okay, there's a problem with QR code. I can send it later again, if you wish. And so once we will be able to transmit to your brain directly, it means that we also will be able to jump peripheral traumas. And so you can have it. Okay. In terms of sight, obviously, one of the opportunity in travels is the opportunity to admire the northern lights, contemplate sharks and diving, explore the rainforest, walking in the desert dunes, and attend the World Cup final. That's some of the examples, very easy in terms of teleport yourself exactly where you want to go. Smell. We already talked about the Madeleine scent. And also you can breathe the scent of lavender field in full blooming, sniff the smell of the forest after the rain, and smell fresh baked bread scent. In terms of hearing, obviously you will have the opportunity to hear the stormy sea noise, listen to your favorite group live concert, enjoy the noise of the wind on the top of very high peak, or perceive the sound of ice coming off a glacier. And in terms of touch, obviously you will be part of a crowd at a concert, feel the sand and the sea water drops on the beach, caress an exotic animal, and feel the wind while skydiving. That's my favorite example of embodiment. And that's typically the example I use when people tell me, okay, let's make me an example of skydiving. Okay, and I say, okay, try to imagine yourself skydiving from the Empire State Building in the night. Probably you will not do it, even if you don't have any kind of barrier. But there will be obviously the scare of the experience and the risk of the experience, and then you can do it from your sofa. Taste. For taste, there's some problem with link. Okay, with taste, obviously enjoying fresh pickled strawberry, taste different foods from various culture. That's a very, interesting example. I don't know if you ever try something like that, but it's worth a try. And in terms of emotion, we can have a lot of things like diving with sharks or having a tarantula on your hand, hunting for tornado, or join an exclusive event. And I see you asked for the URL and the website. So give me a second, I can show you here. So there will be no need of QR code. Voila. So yes, company is called Experience Plus. The website address is experience.plus. I hope you can see it clearly. And let me reopen my Slido. Okay. So, in case you have any question, please connect with me. You will find me on LinkedIn. If you wish, I show you my LinkedIn profile page. So you can, if you have a problem with my QR code, you can just jump on LinkedIn and connect with me. Here we are. And I think yes, this is the Slido address again. Super. Let me check. We have to use this one. Unfortunately, I don't see the URL of Slido correctly, but I can go back to having the QR code and let's see if you can scan it, or maybe you can't because there's my head in the middle, so I can move my head here and I will not disturb you. You can double scan both the link or the Slido. Let's put back Slido here so we see if some questions are coming. Okay, I see there's a lot of things on the screen at the moment. I hope it's not too confusing. So what will happen next? I mean, if you would like to have further opportunity to go deeper into these opportunities or into these realities, as I say, you can connect with us both at the booth here at the event, or you can connect later on LinkedIn. And also we are organizing different events. You will find us online at an event called Unlimited Realities. That will be a very good opportunity to explore the impact of this technology on various markets, because we will have 4 areas. One will be concentrate on the future of reality, but one will be especially for industries, where we will have, it's better with the code. Yeah, thank you for your support. And we will have a very impressive number of speakers. It will be 2 days of full immersion and Q&A, and even some workshops about these opportunities in terms of reality, so virtual, augmented, and especially, obviously, the how can I call it, unlimited realities, our extended realities platform. And that's basically it. I think we are running out of time. I would like to ask support how many minutes we have, because for me it's already, I don't see the timing. Everyone can see you, that's good. Okay. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had at least some good ideas, and it come up with you new opportunities to use technology to solve your own problem, or to find a new way to communicate with your user and get in contact with them. As I said before, in any kind of support or information you need, you can find us as I said, at the booth, online, or in the different places. We will be super happy to support you and to validate and find maybe new opportunities and new solution with you. I think that's all from my side. I would like to thank again Startup Safari for inviting me today and for the honor to open the rebound session here. And I hope you had a bit of fun, a bit of enlightenment, and at the end of the day, you will have new idea and maybe new startups. Why not? So that's it. I don't know if you're in the... Oh, wait, give me a second. Sorry, I have my technical support or guardian angel that will help me to understand how much time we have left. Oh, 1 minute. Okay, so thanks a lot. And Danny, sorry. So 1 minute, it's okay. We can close with a very big thank you to Startup Safari, to you, that you spend 1 hour with me. And as I said before, I hope it will be somehow enlightening and interesting for you, and you had the opportunity to learn or to imagine something new. And yeah, stay in contact, visit us, and let me know how we can support you. Because I'm sure once you will start thinking at unlimited opportunity, this approach will open you. I'm sure you will have some new project and you will have some new idea you would like to understand. We can close there. Absolutely, yes, Danny.